I fill the room when voices fall. I come alive when there's no call. In noisy chaos, I don't stay, but in the stillness, I find my way. Who am I? Any guesses? It's silence. Did you just hear that? That wasn't just silence, that was your mind starting to speak. In just a few seconds of stillness, your thoughts got louder, didn't they? Maybe a memory or a to do list. And that's what today's about, the sound of your mind. Most people spend their entire lives hearing everything except that. There's a sound we all carry, but almost none of us ever really stop to hear it. That sound is not music, not someone's voice, not even your breath. It's the quiet hum of your own mind. But here's the truth. Most of us have never really heard it. Why? Because we are drowning it with endless noise. We scroll while we wait. We talk to escape awkwardness. We fall asleep to background noise, as if silence were a void we are terrified to fall into. Is silence a void? No, it's actually a vessel, overflowing with meaning, emotion, and wisdom that we can't hear unless everything else gets quiet. Silence is like a mirror, and when the external noise fades, we are left with our inner dialogues, our regrets, insecurities, buried memories, unfinished thoughts, unmet dreams, and so on. But to be honest, we are not ready to hear them. So what do? We scroll, we binge all day, even me. But what if that very discomfort is the doorway to something deeper? Let's step into the science. Actually, I was exploring some of the researchers related to this field. And here are those which I want to share with you all. In 2006, researcher Luciano Bernardi conducted a study on how different types of music affects our brain and body. He found that 2 minutes of silence between the music tracks calms the brain more than the music ever did. Just 2 minutes of intentional silence calms the brain, lowers blood pressure and heart rate. And this wasn't a one-off. In 2013, a Duke University research revealed something extraordinary. When mice were exposed to silence just 2 hours a day, it simulated in the growth of new brain cells in the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain responsible for learning and emotional regulation. Want to know something fascinating? While we are in deep rest or meditation, our brain activates something called default mode network, the brain's introspective superhighway. It's where we reflect, reimagine, and reconnect with our true self. So, in few words, I would like to put it as, when our brain is not distracted, it doesn't switch off. It switches inward, and that's where the magic happens. But it's not just limited to labs or research papers. This truth is lived and echoed in the lives of those who changed this world. Nelson Mandela, he spent 27 years imprisoned in silence. And yet, when he returned, he didn't return with rage. He returned with reflection. That silence, it sculpted him into a global symbol of peace. Bill Gates, who once ran Microsoft, every year he used to go to a hidden cabin in the woods with no phone, no music, just some silence and books. He calls it Think Week. It's where ideas like Internet Explorer and Microsoft Office were born. Steve Jobs, when he had to make difficult decisions, he didn't storm into meetings. Instead, he preferred long walks. being in silence. And I remember him saying, once he said that, if you just sit and observe, eventually your mind calms, and then you will hear things that are subtle. Those subtle things, they became iPhones. J.K. Rowling, I remember her saying how she got some of her best ideas. Want to know the answer? Well, I'm here to answer that. It was in the silent moments. Also, she shared how she got Harry Potter's idea. It first popped up in her mind while she was in a ride, in a train, with no distractions and no time to hurry. She was in stillness. Her brain was free to wander, and that's where the idea of Harry Potter came. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded by noise, whether it's from social media or a daily life crisis. These days, silence has become even more precious. For J.K. Rowling, it was those precious moments where her imagination could run wild, and the vision of Harry Potter took root and began to grow. Silence, in fact, offers us the space to think deeply and hear our voice, which we often don't hear, isn't it? Okay, so here's what silence has taught me. When noise never ends, our clarity never begins. In the quietest moments are often the most honest ones. The third point, silence doesn't erase your thoughts, it eliminates them. And it's in silence that clarity is born, creativity surfaces, healing begins, and our identity returns. Silence also plays a major role in healing. Therapists use silent therapy, where the clients sit in intentional silence to confront what rises. It's uncomfortable, I know, but isn't it transformative? So, basically, when our mind doesn't distract, it doesn't switch off, it switches inward. We often think that silence means doing nothing, isn't it? But what if silence is doing everything? The next time when the world feels overwhelming, don't fill the silence, let it fill you. Because noise, it shows us the world, but silence, it shows us ourselves. And sometimes the loudest transformation begins when nothing is said at all. Thank you. Priya Kumari signing off.